What is up, guys? It's Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Painfully Honest Advice. So while we might be in another market crash or another market correction because the stock market has been going down recently, I'm going to share with you guys 6 stocks. These are going to be a bit risky stocks that I'm currently watching right now. All of these stocks I do see coming back once this market corrects itself and once we're out of this pandemic. So these are going to be a bit riskier stocks, but with high risk comes high reward. Now, as always though, invest at your own risk, and I would not go all in on any particular one of these stocks, but I'm going to share with you guys 6 stocks that I've been watching closely and I've done a lot of research on, and also share with you guys my strategy on when I'm looking to maybe invest in each one of these stocks. Now, if you are new to my channel, my name is Andy. I make videos all around business, personal finance, and investing. So if you like any of those topics, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. And if you don't mind just hitting that like button, that would be honestly appreciated. But let's go ahead and jump into the video. Now, while the market has been going down, I'm basically looking for the market to go down another 10 to 15% before I go ahead and pull the plug on these stocks. These 6 stocks, I can tell you guys, are going to be reputable companies that are basically going to be going nowhere anytime soon. These are not going to be stocks or names that you have not heard of. These are going to be very popular names and very popular brands. Now, personally, with each one of these stocks, I do see them rebounding in 1 to 2 years from now. Personally, I would hold on to these stocks at least 2 years to see a return, but I do see all of them coming back, and I do see a return of at least 100% on these stocks, meaning that I think all of these stocks will at least double in the next 2 years because they've been hit really hard due to this current pandemic. Now, if your goal is short term or you're not looking to invest long term or can hold on to these stocks for at least 2 years, I would potentially stay away from these because they are a lot higher risk short term. And as a quick disclosure here, guys, I am not a financial advisor. Obviously, do your own homework and research these stocks before you go ahead and invest in them. I'm just sharing with you guys what I'm planning on doing and my strategy around these stocks. Now, if you are new to trading, my strategy around these stocks and what I personally do is I do like to dollar cost average in every single individual investment that I make. By dollar cost averaging, I'm able to reduce my risk. At the same time, I don't have the fear of missing out. Basically, I don't feel like I'm going to be missing out on a particular investment. So I look at dollar cost averaging so I still have a part of that investment in my portfolio. And if the investment goes down, well, I'll go ahead and invest a little bit more. And if the investment goes up, hey, I'm still in that investment and I just made some money on that. So that's a great way for a new investor to start investing in the stock market. Now, just a quick plug here from my sponsor. This video is sponsored by Webull. Now, Webull is a new trading platform that basically gives you 2 free stocks for signing up with them, 1 free stock for setting up an account with them, and a second free stock worth up to $1,400 when you go ahead and deposit at least $100 in your account. Now, if you are new to trading, that's a great platform that I personally recommend, and I do have a link in the description if you want to go ahead and check that out. But now let's go ahead and jump into the 6 stocks that I'm watching right now, with the first one being Carnival Cruises. Now, Carnival Cruises is extremely popular. They are basically the biggest and industry leader when it comes to cruise lines. And with Carnival Cruises, they honestly got hit extremely hard because of this virus, because the virus does spread a lot quicker when you're in a smaller space. And on a cruise line, obviously we can see how the virus can spread a lot quicker. So Carnival Cruises definitely got hit extremely hard, and I see this stock being able to rebound once we find a vaccine for this cure. Now, with Carnival Cruises, they are the largest cruise line in the world, and the second largest is actually Royal Caribbean's. Now, Royal Caribbean and Carnival Cruises are my top 2 cruise lines that I personally really like. Now, just on a personal note, I've been on about 6 cruises. I've been on both Carnival and Royal Caribbean, and personally, I don't see the cruise line going anywhere anytime soon because I do see them coming back and rebounding as soon as we find a vaccine. And additionally, with this stock, the stock's currently trading under $20 right now. And if we look at their last 1 year, they're actually down over 60%. The stock used to trade right around $45 to $50, and I do see a potential for 100% return because I can see the stock going back to $40. But here's the thing, I don't see the stock climbing back up until we actually find a vaccine. And if it does go up, it's because there's a lot of speculation going on in the market, and I do see it correcting itself. So just on that note, I wouldn't invest in the stock short term. I would look at investing in the stock if I'm looking at investing for at least 2 years down the road. Now, I do like this company, and I'm basically waiting for this market correction to happen. And if I see this market correct at least 10 to 15%, I am looking at pulling the plug and getting into this investment. And the second one on the list is going to be Simon Properties Group. Now, Simon Properties Group is the largest mall retailer in the world, and basically they own majority of the malls in the United States. Now, this is considered a REIT, so basically this stock is a real estate investment trust. Now, the nice thing with REITs is that they do have to pay out at least 90% of their earnings, and that's personally one of the reasons why I really like investing in REITs, is because of those dividends, and you build additional passive income along the way. Now, with Simon Properties Group, they actually got hit extremely hard due to this current pandemic. So I do see them rebounding out of this pandemic, and currently with this stock currently trading at right around $75, I do see them going back and doubling up. So this is another stock that I can see getting 100% return once we get out of this pandemic. And if we just look at their previous stock price, the stock used to trade at right around $150 per share, and currently it's trading at about half of that. And they've been down, if we look at their last 1 year, over 50%. And just overall in the mall sector, I don't see the malls going anywhere anytime soon. I do see them rebounding because a lot of clothing stores need a space, and basically with malls, that's a great space for them, and that's a great place for people to go to when they're shopping and they want to go ahead and explore different options. So I do see them rising once we get out of this whole pandemic. And now the next stock that I can see doubling up on in the next couple of years is going to be Delta Airlines. Now, Delta Airlines is actually one of the largest airlines in the world. And when it comes down to that sector, I believe the strong companies and the biggest companies are going to survive. Now, Delta Airlines, just like every other airline, got hit extremely hard with this whole pandemic, but I do see them rebounding extremely well once people are able to travel. Now, we don't have that many options when you want to travel overseas, so the airline industry has to basically survive. And worst case scenario, I can see the federal government coming in and bailing these companies out. But long term, I do see the stock growing. And currently, if we look at the current price right now, Delta Airlines is actually trading at right around $30, and they are down about 45% in the last 1 year. But if we look at their previous price, they were actually trading right around $60. So this stock, I can see going right back to that $60, and that would be a return of 100% on this stock. So this is a bit riskier stock right now, but as a long-term strategy and as a long-term investor, I do see the full airline industry growing. But just sticking with the travel and leisure industry, the fourth stock on the list that's a bit riskier that I do see rebounding after this pandemic is going to be MGM Resorts. Now, MGM Resorts is in the hospitality industry, and of course, as the whole travel industry got hit, less people are traveling and less people are staying in resorts or going to Vegas. Now, with MGM Resorts, they actually own a lot of hotels on the Las Vegas Strip, but they're also diversified as well. They have hotels across the US. They also have hotels in China and in Japan. So they're not just primarily focused in Las Vegas, but because they're primarily focused in the hospitality industry, that whole industry got extremely hit hard when we got into this pandemic. Now with MGM Resort, they're currently trading at right around $19. And if we look at their previous stock price, the stock was actually trading between $30 to $40. So this is another stock that I can see a potential great return on as well. And once we get out of this pandemic, more and more people are just going to be traveling. And because Vegas is basically the hub for entertainment and a lot of conferences happen in Vegas, I see Vegas rebounding as far as their hotel and hospitality industry before some of the other areas. And now just jumping into the fifth stock on the list, and the fifth riskiest stock that I'm currently watching is going to be Canopy Growth Corporation. Now, Canopy Growth Corporation is actually the largest distributor for cannabis products. They are the largest company when it comes down to anything related to cannabis. And with this stock, they actually took a very big hit because of the state mandates around medical facilities and basically approving cannabis-based products. Now, currently, they are trading at right around $16 per share. But at one point, if we look at their last 3 years, they were trading as high as $40 per share. So this is a great stock to keep on your radar. And if you do believe in this sector, this is definitely the company to go with because they are the leader in the space. Now next, let's go ahead and jump into the sixth stock. And the sixth stock is going to be Boeing. Now Boeing is also in that airline sector, but they're an industrial company because they actually make airplanes and they make other commercial products as well, as far as defense, security system, and some other products within that commercial airspace space. But with Boeing, they're actually trading at right around $189 per share. And if we just look at the last 3 years, they were trading at one point as high as $400. So this is another stock that I do see rebounding as well as soon as the whole market opens up. Because with Boeing, a lot of their orders and a lot of the orders that all these other airlines had with them, they had to cancel because of this whole pandemic. So as soon as the economy comes back up and as soon as some of these sectors open up, I do see Boeing starting to get more and more orders because they basically have a huge niche when it comes down to the aerospace and airline industry. But guys, of course, invest at your own risk because when you have a chance of a higher reward, it does come with a higher risk. Now, as always, I will always preach that long-term investing is the way to go. Day trading, unfortunately, is extremely too risky. I've done it in the past. I've lost a lot of money and I've made a lot of money. And just simply put, it's just a lot better off to invest in the stock market for the long term because the growth potential can be a lot higher and you can go ahead and reduce your risk. But I'm gonna leave it at that for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe down to the channel below. And if you don't mind hitting that like button, as it would honestly be highly appreciated. But thank you again, guys. I will see you guys at the next one.